Dude, I still can't get over how sick these freaking headlights are, bro. That's just crazy. That's crazy. So continuing with restoring the appearance of the sedan, I actually got some touch-up paint, bro. I know a lot of you guys have probably noticed in the videos that the paint on the sedan is pretty rough. And like I have mentioned many times, we will be painting this car in the future. But at the moment, dude, I just don't want to get that involved in it, dude. I want to kind of enjoy the car. Painting, bro, is a real lengthy process, at least for me, because I'm gonna want to tear the whole front end apart, take like the bumpers and everything off, remove the windshield. Like, I'm gonna want to do it right, you know what I'm saying? And at the moment, I'm enjoying being able to actually drive it, and I don't want to tear it down and make it like a full-blown project just yet. Now, I don't know how visible it is from right here in the video, but from right here I can see all the rock chips and everything on the hood, and I am standing probably, I don't know, about 5 feet away from the car, and right here above the headlight doesn't look nearly as bad. Now if you get up close to it, of course, you can actually make out all the little spots that I've touched up because it is slightly brighter. Like, I did my best to match this color. It's not dead on, bro, but I'm not that worried about it. Because honestly, I mean, seeing little white specks looks a lot better than seeing all these little dark black and rusted specks, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna give the whole area a good wipe down with some alcohol really quick, and this is just regular old rubbing alcohol, bro, and a clean rag. Yeah, oh yeah. Get you all cleaned up, you dirty girl. Filthy girl. Dirty girl. Now this touch-up bottle of paint that I have, it's got the paint in it, and it comes with this little paintbrush right here, so you can use it for touching up. Now if you have to, you can also run down to like a craft store and get even smaller, finer little paintbrushes, bro. Like really small shit for doing little tiny dots, you know what I mean? I didn't do that. I don't have any at the moment. To be honest with you, I probably should have went and got some because there's some pretty small little dots. But as far as this little touch-up bottle, bro, you can go down to any place where you get automotive paint, man. Like here we have Sherwin-Williams, and then there's also like a old school paint shop. Places like that, you got to look up your local area, find where you can buy automotive paint. Go down there. You can either take them like your gas door, which you guys see, that's the reason why my gas door is not on. With your gas door, they can actually match your paint directly, or if you have your color code, they can just look it up and do the formula from there. But here we go. I'm just gonna get into this. Try to get very little bit of the paint on the tip of the brush. And just start dabbing. Alright, so now just from a couple feet back, dude, that spot right there looks amazing. Like, you can't even tell. But of course, if you get right up close to it, you can definitely see all the little white specks, and especially because they're kind of bulging out. Because what I'm doing is actually kind of puddling it inside of each one of those chips. But this, most certainly, to me, looks a lot better than this. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you guys can be the judge. Now, obviously, after I get this all done, I'm going to kind of wipe it down. And I'm thinking about maybe even going over it with my buffer and trying to see if I can kind of blend it a little bit after you buff it. Maybe it doesn't stand out as bad. And I get it, dude. This is a little bit on the ghetto side. It is. But like I had said, this is just temporary. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of a cleaner appearance for the time being, dude, because we are gonna eventually paint this car, but I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting the whole front of this hood finished, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like whenever it's done. Man, screw this. Screw this, dude. We're painting the whole damn car. I'm just kidding, man. What I'm gonna do is actually just mask off the front end, cover some stuff with plastic, sand the front of this hood, because honestly, I'm just not satisfied with touching it up like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand this front and just kind of try to touch up just this area. Now, gotta get the whole entire car covered, because if we don't, the car will be covered in overspray and I'll feel like shit. This is seriously the part that I hate the most. Like, I hate having to do this. It's annoying. So the three biggest problem areas on this car, obviously the hood, where all these rock chips are at, and I got it all sanded down and primered. This lower portion of the trunk had a big like chunk of missing paint that just kind of flaked off. I got that all smoothened out, kind of blended it so you can't see it anymore, and then got it shot with a coat of primer. And then the last biggest spot was right here on the corner of the roof. There was a large chunk of freaking paint missing right here. So got that all feathered out as well, got it primered. Now, of course, I'm just waiting for the primer to kind of set up and dry. And I'm gonna go over the primer with some 320 on my little block sander. And then from there, we're just gonna go over it with a tack rag, get all the dust off, and start shooting a coat of white. Now, what I'm spraying it with is just a single stage, bro. And because I'm not gonna be doing a clear coat or anything. I'm gonna hit it with a single stage, and then after the paint dries, what I'll do is I'll probably just end up buffing it to try to kind of blend it a little bit better. The pre-warning, it's not gonna be perfect. This is kind of just a, like, I'm not blending it. This is just kind of a touch up, bro. If you know what you're looking for, it's gonna stand out, you know what I'm saying? But it is gonna look a lot better than what it did.
sexy and I know it.
So it is now the next day. I'm just getting home from work right now. I mean, it came out pretty good, dude. I really like how the hood came out. The trunk came out really good as well. Now back here, you can definitely tell that the paint that we used is slightly brighter. Looking at the camera, it does stand out a lot more than what it does in person. Especially, I mean, right now we're in the shade. If you see this in the sun, you could hardly even tell, but it definitely looks a lot better than it did with that big chunk of missing paint. The only problem that I don't like is how the roof came out. The roof, I did not mean to leave such a hard line like that, but I don't have any clear coat. I normally would have just kind of blended this area a little bit. Basically went over our spot with the paint and then added half paint, half clear, and then kind of blended it into the already existing paint on the roof. But what I'm gonna do is go ahead and wet sand that area. I'm gonna try to get rid of that hard line the best that I can so it doesn't stand out too terribly much. But once again, I'm not all that worried about it. It is just temporary, and that spot on the roof was all the way down to the metal, bro, and it was starting to show some surface rust. So either way, it's at least gonna keep it protected from rusting. Even though we really don't have a big problem with rust here in Arizona. You guys comment so much about stuff rusting, man. We really don't have a problem with rust in Arizona. Either way, it's safe from rusting until we actually paint the entire car. But first things first, man, I gotta blast all the dirt off of it. So we gotta get the click click broom out and spray this thing off. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of wet sanding. Try and get rid of that damn hard line that I left on the freaking roof, man. God. Alright, so I have an assortment of wet sandpaper here, and once again, this stuff is Velcro, so we're going to be using my Velcro sander. And this right here, get this off. This right here is actually an added little cushion because this, the back on this sander is just so hard. This is like a smushy cushion, you know what I'm saying? So you could Velcro this on there first, and then grab your sandpaper. This is a piece of 1500, and then you could Velcro the sandpaper onto that. So then it has a cushion to it, you know what I mean? It's not just like that hard backer that you're sanding with, because whenever you're crossing over body lines and stuff, it being such a hard piece like that, it can cause it to apply more pressure on those body lines and actually burn through your paint. So what I have here is 1500 and 2000 grit. I do have, I believe, like 1000, 900, 800, stuff like that out there inside of my paint bin, whatever the hell it's called, shelf. God, what is that thing called? Cabinet, bro, out there inside my paint cabinet. Jesus Christ. These are just in the front. I just snatched those up really quick, bro. There's really no science to this. I'm starting off kind of safe, really high, with a really fine grit, because honestly, the original paint on this car is really thin, bro, and I'm afraid of burning through it. I feel like the 2000 really isn't going to do a whole lot of anything, so we're starting off with 1500. And on the hood itself, we only sprayed this front section, as you guys know. So back here, if you can listen to this, do you hear how freaking gritty it is? That's from the overspray. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and wet sand that till this is all nice and smooth, and then we'll buff it and bring it to a shine, you know what I'm saying? And then of course up here on the roof, I have it masked off so that I can kind of work on the paint that we added. I want to kind of take that down before I start taking down any of this paint that's on the car, because like I said, I know this is really thin. So I'm going to start off by trying to sand this little lip away with the tape here, so hopefully we don't get too far into this, and then I'll remove the tape and then just kind of fan it out. And I know, dude, I have a feeling this isn't going to come out to be perfect like at all, but it is what it is. And that piece right there, since being we did actually paint the whole entire piece, it really doesn't need any wet sanding at all. It's nice and smooth. Whenever we clean the car, I might try to hit it with a little, dude, but it has a nice shine to it too. Like, it's not like high gloss, but really none of the car is high gloss. So Here we go. Alright, I'm not going to record all this, but what I'm doing now is going over the entire car with some clay bar. And this is an actual kit that came from Chemical Guys. It comes with the lubricant. Basically, you spray the area that you're working with down with the lubricant, and then you use this clay bar, and you just want to go over the whole car. And whenever you're doing this, dude, you could feel it. Like, there's a resistance in the areas that you haven't hit yet, and then the area that you've already done, like, you could feel that it's just really smooth. And basically what you're doing is getting rid of that rough feel, that like oversprayed feel, like the stuff that's embedded inside the paint. And whenever it's all done, it'll have that more like smooth feel, like glass, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do this before waxing the car. Alright, I think I'm done for the night. Well, there it is, dude. The sun isn't up as much as I would like it to be right now, so I could actually show you guys like how good it came out. But of course it isn't 100% perfect, but it definitely, I still got some freaking wax right there, definitely looks a lot better than what it did. And here's the roof. Once again, like I said, it's not perfect, but it blended in a lot better than what it looked with that hard line. And now the roof actually has a freaking shine, dude. You see how you can see the reflection? Like, this car had absolutely zero reflection before this. And then of course I didn't do anything extra to this back here. I just kind of went over everything with the wax, touched up all the little extra chip marks. Another thing, I don't know if you guys knew, but I threw mud flaps on the back. So the car now has all 4 Honda mud flaps. And then there's also the SI lip on the front. This SI lip actually came off of the hatch. Actually, those mud flaps and that lip all came off of the hatch. I had those mud flaps on there before, and honestly, with the look of the car now, I don't think mud flaps actually goes with the theme, you know what I'm saying? But what was cool about it is those mud flaps never really fit the hatch very well because they're 4-door mud flaps. So that actually worked out perfectly, and they're in like perfect condition. So, and then the SI lip, I was so excited when I put this thing on, and then I realized it doesn't fit. So what I ended up doing was just using long screws, and it's actually sitting on the bottom of the bumper. It's not up flush like it would be if it was actually on the hatch, but I made it work. Everybody has seen the wheels sitting up here, so these wheels are actually for the sedan. I need to get them cleaned up really well, and the thing is the reason why I haven't like really put them on yet is because I'm still not sure that I even want to put those on the sedan, because of the fact that I'm going for that whole stock look, bro. And I feel like as soon as we throw wheels on it, I mean, it's fine, the car is still stock, but I feel like as soon as we throw wheels on it, it's gonna draw attention. Like, and I don't have an alarm on it yet, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I have already ran a kill switch, but you know how thieves are, bro. They'll get their way around that kind of shit. I'm just really kind of digging that like whole stock look right now, bro, with the stillies and everything. I don't know, I'm a sucker for it, man. I think it looks pretty sick. Now, in the next video, I'll go ahead and do all those little things that I wanted to do in this video, and we'll go ahead and throw the wheels on. We gotta at least see what they look like, you know what I'm saying? I already know I'm not gonna like them without lowering the car. We need to lower it because wheels or not, it's not gonna look good all monster trucking, you know what I'm saying? It's pulling it off right now because it's all stock on the stillies, but as soon as you throw wheels on it, it just, you guys know, it don't look right. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one, man.